here at 1754 Waller Street in the Haight of San Francisco with my father, Robert Ackerley. This is the original headquarters of the Brotherhood of Eternal Love Aquarian Temple. They were here in 1966 and 1967. The original members are Chris Clever, Ken Randall, and my father, Robert Ackerley, also known as Christopher Wheat. So tell us about your times here at 1754 Waller Street.
Well, that actually started out from the Steiner Street house, but we ended up here with Chris Clever and Kenny Randall, and I ran into Chris Clever on the street after becoming a fugitive from the Aquarian down there with Bob Thomas and Osley and that, and for not cutting my hair, and and then we came up, and I came up here, and I was walking down Haight Street, you know, and I didn't know anybody or nothing, and I was just like didn't know where I was going to go. I was taking off with this one guy to go to Canada. We were going to go to Canada, but we didn't go there, and so I went here, he went to Canada, and then that was one of the guys from the bus at the Euphoria in Pasadena at the Old Town, and then so Chris Clever I'd known before because we'd gone to Talker's down at Johnny Dawes and Calvin Delaney's house in the canyon when they were still working for the county down there, and stayed at his house, and we went out to Talker's and took some acid, Chris Clever, and so I'd known him before from the Steiner Street house, and so pretty much we started, he had a crash pad, and he had 13 hits of LSD, and he said, help me sell this and we'll go get a house. So we started selling the acid and going around and selling everything that, you know, on the streets, and then we started, met these girls, and they had a hash connection, and then I was selling hash to these people, and pretty soon it just kind of blossomed, and we got enough money, and we came and found this street, right, the Waller Street house, and then so me and Chris Clever moved in, and pretty much started to, you know, pretty much dealing. It's the first time I dealt. I'd never dealt before until that 13 hits of acid and stuff. Pause. That's part of it. After that, we moved in here, and we had a visit from Kenny Randall, and he came up with Diana, his girlfriend, and Pat Simmons pulled up in a station wagon the next day after they visited us. They went and got all their stuff and came out here, and Pat dropped them off, and they wanted to move in with us without even asking us if they could move in. That was Kenny Randall. Kenny Randall came from Los Gatos area and the Sheldon Road when we were going to West Valley College, and when JC brought up the LSD and stuff, and we got in the boy-girl dope party in Los Gatos, and then for taking LSD because Virgie was hiding behind the freeway, but then they took him for a ride, and the cop brought him up, and it got in the paper. It was illegal at the time, but then eventually all those people, Tommy, Freddie, Gary Cutbirth, Mike Beeson, and would end up here at the temple, and other brothers, because of the warrants and the stuff in Orange County, and the heat was getting real heavy. So me and Chris started up here. We got Ken Reynolds. So the next, we had this party, and the landlord called and said, hey, you guys got to run this like a church if you want to stay here. So Chris Clever found this Reverend Ray, we call him Reverend Gay because he lived in the Tenderloin, and he was going to make us ministers in the Universal Life Church. And so we had to study the Aquarian Temple and the Essene Gospel of Peace and all that kind of stuff, and then we became ministers, and in the meantime we had Rojo and the Pink Cadillac, and Chuck and Dale come up, and they brought 500 pounds of weed right in the first days and stuff in this Pink Cadillac, and George saw them on the street, and they yelled, hey, Crazy George, and so George dove right in the car through the window because it was filled up the whole back seat, everything with kilos, 500 pounds of weed, dude. They loaded 300 of them right down there in that garage. And yeah, right over there in that garage. We pulled them right in there, and we unloaded them, and inventoried them and all that stuff. And we started selling them out of here. Well, on Haight Street, we were selling to 13th floor elevator to everybody in town. You could sell it right on Haight Street.
So today we see here around 1754 Waller Street in 2013, moms walking by with strollers, people walking their dogs. What was the scene like back then for you?
Oh man, there was a lot more people walking around. And you can just wave out the windows and people would come up and visit you and stuff. It was an amazing time because this was all packed with, you know, thousands of hippies. And we were right in the middle of it. We ended up having so much fun and doing so many things. It's incredible. But we did get our minister credentials, and we incorporated the temple 2 weeks before they made LSD illegal. We went to the Attorney General and for the state of California and got papers of good standing with the state of California. And then we made Ronald Reagan a minister, honorary minister in our church. And then we came back. We got funded the free clinic, the Diggers Food Fest. We funded and renovated the Straight Theater. George did all the brickwork in there, Crazy George, and we were on police community relations with Alioto and Mary Daly, and set up a dental, no income with the Catholics over there, with the mercy system for people that needed dental and emergency care could go get that over there. And we did a lot of community stuff when we were here with our money, mostly funding various organizations, and we'd get like LSD from Osley. We'd get $0.5 gram for all the be-ins, for the love-ins, for every gig they had. The Purple Haze for Jimi Hendrix, and they had Pink for Pink Floyd, and White for the Velvet Underground. And then there were so many people coming through here. Let's see, I think Fat Bobby Tommy brought Fat Bobby up, and he wanted to. Had some DMT. Pam's connection had this DMT, David. So we went and smoked it, and he wanted to buy it all. And turn it off.
So tell us who Fat Bobby is and what DMT is.
Fat Bobby was a gay dude that the Joker met in Pasadena when we were there. We used to go to his house and with Wanda the Witch and take showers and stuff. And then later he moved to the canyon, and I guess Laguna, and he was coming up here, and he came up with Tommy and Tommy Tunnel, and he said, "Don't sell this to anybody else, just sell it to me. Can I have it all, Chris?" And I said, "Yeah," because there's nobody else standing in line. You know, I was going, "What?" And then so he took off. That was just one of the many people that came up here through our doors, and actually he stole the DMT connection and took him to Laguna Beach, and the guy blew up his house. That was Steve. That was Steve, this other guy and stuff. So it was karma, instant karma. But we had everybody come through here, from Bob Dylan to Donovan, man. It was like unbelievable times and stuff. And
so what is DMT?
DMT is dimethylmethyltryptamine. It's an LSD trip in about 10 minutes. They call it the businessman lunch special. And what it is, it's, activates your inner third eye and the pictic nerve in your brain, where the inner Messiah, the Stargate, and all that stuff in the third eye, where the two become the one. And you can go anywhere, actually. It all depends on where you want to go. And we were all sitting in a circle, and me and Bobby and about 6 girls and stuff, and we smoked it, and unbelievable stuff. But not LSD, mescaline, everything. We'd get Orange Sunshine. David and Jeremy wrote this.
So we're here at Waller Street at the Temple, and the cross street of Stanyon at the beginning of Golden Gate Park.
That's Golden Gate Park.
And we're one block over from the Haight where all the magic happens.
And it's still happening. And the magic is back. It never left. And all that stuff. So, we had a really good time. I have to say that. We loaded up this, we bought a hearse, and we loaded up down Haight Street and get people to come in, and say, hey, you guys want something to eat? And this was when we were becoming ministers, because we had to study for it. You couldn't just call in or send a postcard or whatever, like it turned out later. We'd fill that hearse up 2 or 3 times and take them down to Reverend Gay's house in the Tenderloin where they had the church services, and they'd feed everybody. So it was like, yeah, we were packing that church. They were loving us. And then we bought the Gay Press, their first printing press. And they printed up all the events to Bill Graham's productions, their private parties and everything for us. We'd just give them a ticket and they'd print it up for all our group and stuff. We'd go to all these events and stuff, and Bill Graham would be looking at us, because we knew Bill Graham when they first started. In fact, we were over there with when him and Chet and Bill Graham got in a fight, and Bill kicked Chet out. They were down the back stairs, and they had their breakup, and they were going to fight, and then Chet went down the steps and turned around, because he was a vet, right? And then Bill Graham stopped up about 5 steps up, and he had his bodyguards all there, and then he said, now get out of here and don't come back. I was like, wow, what's that for that? But we used to go over the fence and panhandle to all the people in line before we came here, me and Kenny Randall and stuff. Kenny Randall and I go back to the JC, and when he brought the Acid Up Boy Girl Doe party, and life and times to that group. Right next door down there, the next one over, Roy lived there.
Who's Roy?
Well, Roy was, he was this colored dude that lived downstairs, and he was a real nice person and together and everything, and we'd go down to get stoned with him and all that kind of stuff. And then when we brought all that weed in there with Rojo, I think we had 300 pounds, and they did a couple more somewhere down the avenues. We came back later, we inventoried it all and stuff, and we sold some, and I came back and we re-inventoried, and there were some missing. Uh-oh. So I went around the back and checked, and sure enough, there was this pot going up to the back stairs into their back door around there. And so Kenny Randall goes down and knocks on the door, and he says, Roy, what's up? And he says, well, this is a community garage, and this is, if something happened, we'd be liable too, and so we just took a percentage.
That seems fair.
Yeah, really. So Roll, of course, started coming in glued, and we told him, hey, Chris Clever's a businessman. That guy is a businessman. He ain't chilled down. We can cover that. We just put a dime on each, and it covers the whole thing. And then so Roy came back up later, and he wanted 50 pounds because his brother was a Black Panther. And they started selling weed to the Black Panthers down the stairs. It was funny as heck. And I was like, oh yeah. And we had people come up here with trash. They'd have buy these bricks, and we'd say, what do you have to put them in? And we'd, take that trash bag over there. And they'd take our trash out and put them things and walk out with the trash, feeling so safe, like thinking, nobody's going to look in that bag and all that kind of stuff. Oh, you can go down on Haight Street and stand on the corner. LSD, marijuana, LSD, marijuana.